Hey guys, it's postboxpat and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys everything that I've found looking around the internet regarding upcoming events, upcoming news relating to Fortnite, and some funny things as well, which I have found. So if you guys haven't already, remember to go and use my support creator code postboxpat in the item shop to support me and show respect to my channel. Also, you can tweet me at postboxpat on Twitter or go into my Discord section for a shout out in future videos. I will be adding in them shout outs in the next storyline or map change video, but for now, I'm going to leave that out. But if you guys want to have a chance of getting a shout out, remember to go and have a chance by sending me a screenshot using my support creator code. Anyway, let's get straight into this with a funny post from Reddit, which is actually from the user there you can see on screen, and it actually says, "Fear not, fellas, players, the new building has survived the wrath of the Ice King," which is pretty funny. But to note, guys, and something which I mentioned in yesterday's video, is we can probably expect a brand new Fortnite event happening at the end of the challenges, which is in roughly 4 days now, so expect something else to happen in game. I personally don't think it will be an official event. Let me just make this clear, because I know in yesterday's video I didn't really talk about this until the end, so many of you may have not understood this or may have not even heard it, but let me just quickly state this. So with Fortnite in the past, you have Season 4 and Season 6 being two major events. Season 5 was more of dull events, and there were no officially announced events by Epic Games or Fortnite on their social media platforms, being Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Whereas Season 4 and 6, the events, the rocket event and the butterfly event, were both announced on social medias, whereas Season 5 had no events officially announced on social medias. Now, regarding that on Season 7, I can't 100% confirm it, but going off previous seasons and how much time they've actually spent out the office, I don't think we're going to get an official event this season. Obviously, we can get events that are official but not announced by Epic or promoted by them themselves on their social media platforms. I just feel like that's what the case is going to be this season, but I could be wrong. I do have a little hope inside that we are going to see another event, but I don't know if it'll be officially announced on all their social media platforms. It could be like we saw with Season 6, where the end of Season 5 with the cube lifting up out of the ground in the trailer. That could be the sort of thing we see to Season 6 to Season 7. To whoever's inside the iceberg, for example, he could cause something to happen during the end of Season 7 leading to Season 8, and that'll be seen in the trailer for Season 8, a little bit like we saw with the trailer in between 5 and 6 with the cube, like I just mentioned. But anyway, let me move on to a few new screenshots that I've seen here. This is a really cool post as well I found on Reddit that says, "This is how it's going to look next time," which actually shows the monsters but in a green environment. Now that is hinting towards the idea of a nuclear attack, I assume, or some sort of attack on the Fortnite Battle Royale world, which could link in really well. So I do really like the way that could be like radiation or something. A really nice design with that screenshot there. I definitely want to see something like that in Fortnite in the future. Now the next one I've got for you guys is the 5 elements. This is something I found again on Reddit, and I thought this was pretty interesting. I wasn't 100% sure how to read this graph, and I've been looking at it and trying to understand it, but not been 100% understanding it. But I assume what it's trying to say is each element feeds a certain element and controls another element. Now I don't 100% get that. It says wood feeds fire, which makes sense, but water, I kind of get it. Water controls the fire by putting it out, so I guess that works, and that's maybe why the Ice King's holding the fire type. I guess with earth controls the water and feeds metal. That one doesn't make too much sense to me. It does make sense, like it works, like fire controls the earth obviously, and then the earth fire feeds the earth obviously, because inside the core and stuff. There's a few things there that does confuse me a little bit. Just a little bit, like the wood controls the earth. I guess it all does make sense, like when you read it, because you think about wood and the environment and stuff like that, keeping the air and the oxygen going with the trees and stuff. Bit of a science lesson there. Earth to metal, I guess that works as well. I do understand it, but it just doesn't 100% relate to Fortnite to me, so I was a little bit confused with it. But I like the idea of it, the way the water itself controls the fire, which makes sense with the Ice King actually putting someone inside the ice cube type thing, whatever you want to call it, or the iceberg, or that huge big thing underneath the Fortnite castle in Polar Peak. Now what actually relates to that as well is this next tweet, which I have on screen right now. This one is from Donald Mustard on Twitter. So he actually replied to someone's tweet saying there is definitely something under the iceberg, and Andrew himself actually was like, "I always assume that there's nothing under the surface of icebergs. This is blowing my mind," and sent a picture. And then Donald was like, "Yeah, there's definitely something underneath the iceberg," which hints towards something being underneath the iceberg, and obviously confirming that maybe it's the Fire King, Probably not going to be the name of the skin, but some sort of fire element underneath there. Now, do I think it's going to be fire element? I can't 100% confirm it. We know that the chair, the fire chair, assuming that it is a fire element, that sign, is knocked over inside of their quarters underneath the throne room, but we're not 100% sure if it's going to be a fire element under there. Now, I assume it's either going to be fire or earth or some sort of rock type thing under there, but we'll have to see regarding this snowfall skin or whatever else appears. It may not even be the snowfall skin, guys. What's underneath that could just be a normal skin in the item shop, so we'll have to see. Another thing from Donald as well, which was interesting, this was a few days ago. I didn't really pick up on it, but after researching into it a little bit further, it's quite an interesting concept. So Donald put a little strange face to this ABC News tweet, which actually shows the idea of an ice disc floating in a river, which was pretty cool. Now, the idea of this was the idea of resembles a moon slowly rotates as current passes it in the river. So a moon, the word moon catches my eye there. So the mass of the ice resembles a moon slowly rotates as currents pass it in the river. So that moon aspect really does hint towards maybe something that's going to be in space again in Fortnite, or something's going to crash in, or we're going to have maybe a second dimension. I mentioned this in previous videos, how, you know, you look at Minecraft, it had the Nether dimension where you could come in at one portal and exit another portal. So I was thinking maybe we could have a second dimension in Fortnite, which takes about 3 or 5 seconds to load into, and once you load in, you're in that dimension. You can't go back through the portal you've just gone through, but you can go through another portal, and this would cause you to teleport across the map to different locations. There would also be a storm inside of that portal, or simply what would happen, they would have some sort of limitation inside of there, which means once you go through, if the other portals get blocked off by the storm in the map, for example, if you've gone through a portal and you want to exit another portal, and that portal on the map, on the real Fortnite map, the one on Earth, has been covered up by the storm, that portal will be turned off and you won't be able to go through it. You'd have to go through one which is still in the storm, or go back through the one you have came through if there is no other option. I think that's how it would work. I feel like that's a really cool idea. I've mentioned this in the past. No one's really picked up on this or thought about a different dimension in Fortnite, so portals would work. It wouldn't have to be portals though. You could use other things as well, like an external map, or even an external arena maybe, or some sort of LTM which involves another planet. So pretty cool concept there, Donald. I do like what you're hinting there, maybe for future season 8 or 9 or 10. We'll have to see with that one. Another concept here sent to me from Richard on Twitter. He actually said how in season 2 in the battle pass they were hinting towards a banner with the egg being cracked. Could this possibly hint towards the dragons coming into Fortnite Battle Royale? I don't 100% know, but I do like the way he's actually identified this. This is season 2, so 5 seasons from season 7 to 2 have taken place. So, you know, pretty big. We had season 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So interesting to see that hint all the way back from season 2. They must have been developing the game, must have been maybe even developing season 7 at the time of making season 2 was actually released in the item shop or the item store. Another tweet from Donald as well, which was interesting for me to mention, was "It's the end of the beginning." He tweeted this on the 11th of the 4th, 2018. I assume that's the American date maybe, so maybe the 4th of November 2018 for people in the UK, and this is something interesting. I did really like this. This was sent to me by a fan. He actually was saying that maybe this could mean something in the future of Fortnite Battle Royale. I don't know exactly if that's going to be the case or not, but it does try to hint something at the cube's end has officially been announced as the beginning of something else. So that's what I'm hoping for on this one. I really am hoping for something big to actually take place from it. If I had to describe or kind of explain what that big thing could be, I wouldn't really know where to start, because obviously it's saying how the end of the cube has caused something else maybe to happen. That's really all I could say on it. I don't really know how to relate it to what's currently going on, because from what I can see, the cube has no relationship so far to the actual iceberg or Ice King. There's been no purple elements, none of that dark substance. We have the monsters. That's probably the only relationship we've had. The zombies, or whatever you want to call them, the cube monsters, the Frozen Legion they're now called. I guess that's the only relationship we've had with the cube, but that's probably just an Epic Games side of stuff, just recreating and reskinning them. But we can't 100% confirm that. It could be the wizards, or even the Ice Queen or the Ice King casting a spell to resummon the cube monsters as frozen creatures. We don't know that. We're not 100% sure if that's the case or not, and that could be where the game is going in the future regarding that. The reason these have come back is obviously it's due to a spell that's brought them back from the dead, where he currently got killed in the cube event. So that's maybe why we've seen the same monsters enabled in the Fortnite Battle Royale universe, rather than having a different texture on the monsters, or a different design. Mainly a different design. Obviously we've got a different texture, but a completely different design for the monsters obviously didn't take place, probably because they were resummoned by the wizards, Ice King or Ice Queen. An interesting concept, that is the thing. I did mention that yesterday, but let me know down in the comment section down below what you think regarding the Season 7 changes recently regarding this event. Do you think it's all part of the storyline? Do you think it's something that Fortnite are using to fill in, to hide something maybe? Or do you think it's leading up to an event this weekend, this Saturday, hopefully, an officially announced event on all social media platforms by Fortnite? Or do you think it'll be an official event, but not official, if you get what I mean? When I say official twice, I'm trying to say like something that's officially announced by Epic Games and officially announced in games. It's both of them, rather than just an in-game announcement. So it's interesting to see where that's going to take us, but I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new around here, do stick around for daily Fortnite content. And once again, this is postboxpat signing out.